Hey everyone, welcome to another week of Halloween-a-thon. This is week 5, I believe, and it's Monday. I didn't update all weekend, but I didn't have like a ton to update anyone on anyway. I do have a couple things I want to show you, some movies I watched this weekend, and then we'll get to the book that I finished and another reroll. Friday night we watched Bodies, Bodies, Bodies. This is a rewatch for me. I think that this is really so funny. Even rewatching it was fun. Even knowing how everything comes to be, how it is, I still really enjoy it. This is about a group of college-aged kids who are sheltering at one of their family's mansions, but they're like the only ones there, and they're sheltering because there's a hurricane. So you've got kind of like a, what do they call it? Like a locked room situation, like a locked room mystery. They start playing this game they call Bodies, 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 and it reminds me of the game Among Us. If you've ever, I don't know, if you've ever played that yourself. I haven't, but my child likes to play it, and they do a thing sometimes where her and her friends will play it, or her and her cousins will play it in person instead of online. So usually it's me. I'll pick the imposter, and then the imposter goes around and touches the other players, and then they can call like a meeting and accuse somebody of being an imposter and vote them out possibly. So it's really a lot like that with their Bodies, Bodies, Bodies game. One person gets chosen as the killer. The lights go out, so it's all in the dark. The killer has to kill somebody. The other people, if they find the body, call a meeting, vote somebody out who they think might be the killer. So it's the same kind of a thing, except for that people start dying for real during this Bodies, Bodies, Bodies game. And they all kind of go crazy, accusing each other. It's like the game becomes real and they're accusing each other of being the real killer. I think it's a really fun movie. It makes me laugh and I really enjoyed it, so it was fun to rewatch. Then we watched a couple other things. Nothing really stand out except for Sunday afternoon we watched The Vanishing, which is, I don't know where the director's from, but it's this couple, this Dutch couple, and they're vacationing, a man and a woman, and at some point the woman goes missing from this like gas station, this rest stop, and her partner's like, what the fuck? Like, there's no way that this could happen. And then for years he's gone on looking for her, and meanwhile you as the viewer gets introduced to this French guy who is the abductor, and like you're going through his life. And this isn't a spoiler because, you know, this happens fairly, it's not like it's a mystery who it is at all. You like watch these timelines merge together and the end is like so devastating. So that is a movie I really enjoyed. I watched this on YouTube because I can find it for free on there. The one that I found, the quality was not great. So if you're looking for Criterion quality, it's not going to be there, but I thought it was really good. And in fact, I think that's one that I'm going to have to purchase. Oh, it was so good. Again, this is called The Vanishing. Excitingly, it's time to open my first compendium of concoctions from Sticky. So I'm going to start with day 1. I really don't know what's in these at all. If it's just a sticker sheet. Anyway, this one is called Unicorn Tears. It seems like it is a sticker sheet. It says, collected from the exotic thistlehorn unicorn. Ooh, okay. This is very cool. Some like cemetery scenes and some animal skulls. So that's cool. I still haven't put all my stickers in my little traveler's notebook, so I need to do that, but also maybe it's a good thing I haven't because some of these sheets will need to go somewhere. Be opening those hopefully every day. I really love these little stock cards that they used. I feel like these will be fun to maybe include in some journaling stuff. Who the fuck? It was my husband. I was really worried for a second. But I mean, it's kind of sad because one of his work friends that I really like is, they're kind of slowing down at work right now. They don't have a ton of projects that they're working on, so he's going to another shop. And he is so fucking nice. In fact, he made me this like really excellent jerk chicken a couple weeks ago. And it was so fucking good. It was so good. And he made this like weird, I don't know if there's a name for it. He's originally from Guyana. So I don't know if this is something that like, you know, a recipe that he's taken from there. But there was this like strange like potato and carrot mixture, and it had like a bunch of cloves in it, but I don't know, it was so good. So I'm gonna go eat lunch with him and say goodbye to him. So so I gotta cut it short, but I'll come back and tell you about what I ate. Zach called me because there's this place down the street from us, this Korean place that I really like, and I keep saying, oh, we have to go back there, we have to go back there, but shit is so expensive. So, you know, it's like, it kind of has to be like a special event thing, and this is, so I'm gonna go have lunch there and I will be back. Hi, I'm back from my lunch. It was delicious. We went to this Korean place, I think I said this Korean place that I love. I've been talking about going there recently. So there was like 10 of us, and I got to say goodbye to his friend that's leaving the shop. I mean, it's not like we'll never see him again or anything, but I don't know, they do a lot of stuff like together as co-workers, right? So he's not going to be there for all that stuff, and I love his wife, and he has a cute baby, and so it was nice to say goodbye to him. And I got a hot stone bibimbap, which if you've had bibimbap, it's just that, but they put it in this like cast iron bowl, and so the rice gets so crispy and it's so delicious. And then Zach got army stew, which is like a hot pot, and that was good too. I love the broth in that. And so it was really good, and now I'm back to talk to you about the rest of the shit I had planned for this video. First, the October Evernight box. If you are a subscriber and haven't received yours, please skip ahead a little bit because I'm going to be revealing the book inside. I'm pretty sure I know what this is from the hints that they gave about it, and I'm very excited if this is indeed the book that I'm thinking it is. It is, and oh my god, this is beautiful. This is You Weren't Meant to Be Human by Andrew Joseph White. This one was one of my most anticipated for the second half of the year, and this cover is so gorgeous. Let me read to you what this says. Ugh, weird. Okay, it says, festering masses of worms and flies have taken root across Appalachia. In exchange for unwavering loyalty and fresh corpses, these hives offer a few struggling humans salvation, a fresh start. It's an offer that none refuse. Crane is grateful. Among his hive's followers, Crane has found a chance to transition, to never speak again, to live a life that won't destroy him. He even met Levi, a handsome ex-Marine and brutal killer who treats him like a real man. Mostly. But when Levi gets Crane pregnant and the hive demands the child's birth, no matter the cost, Crane's desperation to make it stop will drive the community that saved him into a devastating spiral that can only end in blood. It sounds good. I'm very interested in this wriggling mass. Okay, here's the back. Here's a dust jacket. Always very excited to see what's underneath of these Evernight books. Look at this. It looks like a hive, right? Beautiful. I don't know how well you can see in this lighting. Hopefully you can see that. And then here is the back of it. I don't know what's going on there, but it's weird. Then of course, sprayed edges. It looks like a gross hive membrane. Ew. Ew. And then some of our characters, presumably. Oh my god, what is happening here? What happens in this book? But I'm very excited to have this in my hands. I'm really excited to read this. It sounds like we have some really complicated characters in this, and a strange world. like a post-apocalyptic world, and I'm dying to know what's in here. Second to last thing, I finished Zero Saints by Gabino Iglesias. This was okay. I didn't love it very much, but I kept reading it mostly because I was really interested in the main character who practices Santeria, and like that part was interesting. So it has a lot of like religious and occult stuff going on in this, between what the main character believes and the people who he's running from, kind of, because he's being targeted after his, I don't know, his friend, I guess, his workmate, they killed him. So it's kind of like kill or be killed at this point. So it was pretty short. It does feel a little bit like a first novel. It has a good amount of Spanish in it, which I kind of know some Spanish, but I'm far, far, far from fluent. So I think with just my sparse knowledge and the context of the book, you can kind of, you know, tell what they're saying if you're not fluent in Spanish or don't speak Spanish very well. But it does have a fair amount of Spanish in it for, I don't know, people who don't speak Spanish. It's more of a crime with horror elements than a straight up horror book, but I really, like I said, I did find the occult and religious stuff in this to be interesting, but that is really the only thing that kept me reading. Otherwise, I didn't find the plot or the main character compelling enough on its own. But I did finish it, and I am looking forward to reading more of Gabino Iglesias's stuff. So there's that. It didn't turn me off of his stuff. Okay, and since that was my last roll, I'm going to roll again. Let's roll over here. 6, 6, 6, 6. Okay, here we are. Landed on a novella last time, so we'll move 6 spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and I land on another cat. It's getting to the point where I'm gonna have to do some of these if I want to do them during October. Let's see what we have here. Give a little mixy and a little matchy and a little choosy. Oh, wow. Okay. I mean, I chose to put this on here. This is Ouija, which is a nonfiction book. Let me get it. Dang, I've actually accidentally chosen like some of my thickest books I included in this. By chance, though. So this is Ouija, the Most Dangerous Game by Stoker Hunt. This is a nonfiction book. It says, the first book to take a hard look at the phenomena called, quote, the Ouija board. Is it just a game? When you ask the Ouija board a question, who is it that answers? What about those stories of Ouija-inspired prophecy and clairvoyance? What are the dangers of the Ouija board? Do you know the stories of Ouija-inspired murders, madness, obsession, and possession? Exalted by some, condemned by others, there's no doubt that the Ouija is controversial. In this fascinating book, Stoker Hunt investigates the history and the legacy of, quote, the mystic talking oracle. This is what I'm going to be reading. This is my first nonfiction book for this month. I'm going to try to read this for as much time as it takes me to be done with it, okay? So once I have an update on this book, I will be back. Hello, my friends. It is Thursday. I have not filmed a vlog update in a couple days because I've been rather busy. Midterms were technically last week, but I had a midterm this week for a class, my history class that I'm taking, and I had to write a paper for it. And since, I mean, this is on me because I was not thinking ahead of time, but the whole system, computer system that my school uses for any sort of online stuff, and also where my professors put all of the assignments, was down on Monday. So that means that I had technically 4 days to write this paper. I was kind of upset because you have to pick a topic for reflection, but you can only use sources that she's given you throughout the class so far. So it's like I had ideas about stuff that I wanted to write about. For example, a woman called La Malinche, who was a native Nahua woman in like Latin America, who ended up acting as Hernan Cortez's translator when he came to Mexico. And for like hundreds of years, she was spoken about poorly because she was a traitor. She helped kill the Aztec Empire, stuff like that. But really, there's a lot more to it than that. But like, there is a single sentence about this woman in my textbook, and it's like, well, I need more than that. But I can't. I just basically can't write about topics that I found really interesting. Another thing I was thinking about was Alexander Hamilton, and how this musical Hamilton that came out a couple years ago kind of portrayed him as like a morally gray hero still, and had this like rags to riches story, but I don't feel like that accurately portrays, at least in my opinion, who Alexander Hamilton was and the ideas that he had, and how he was kind of a bastard. And like, I want to write about that, but I can't, because I can't reference this musical. I can't include any other sources that aren't like our textbook. And, you know, she's given us other things like articles and stuff like that throughout the weeks. But so I like had to really kind of dig deep to kind of find a topic that I wasn't necessarily super interested in actually, but one that I understood enough to write about and discuss. And what I chose was how the founding fathers were super hypocritical when they wrote the founding documents, like the Declaration of Independence and the Constitution, because they said we treat all men equal here, while they also wrote provisions and sections and articles where they're like, except these people who count as 3/5 of a person and don't actually get to vote, and these people who don't count at all. So it's just like really fucked up, you know? So I guess it wasn't necessarily a topic I wasn't interested about or felt was important, but like not what I instinctively wanted to discuss. So I was able to do it. I actually wrote it in one day. It wasn't a very long paper, but, and then it was all this thing. It's like, it has to be it has to be 2 pages minimum, and that does not count any title or, you know, like the, I don't know what you call it, the space where you put like your name, the CRN of the class, the date and stuff. So it's like, I had to look at like the little ruler on the side and be like, okay, that's like 1.5 inches of space. I better make sure I have 1.5 inches of writing on the 3rd page. It was like, oh my God, she's just so weirdly particular about stuff that doesn't matter. It's just so weird. But I think I've got it done for this week. So what I really need to do is finish editing my video. I've also, oh my God, I also think I figured out what is like making my eyes and my head hurt when I'm working on my PC. And I think it's because I got this stand to put my monitor on, and I haven't been using my PC a lot for anything besides editing. I do my schoolwork on my laptop. I haven't really been playing video games on my PC in a lot, like not since I bought this stand at least. So really all I've been doing is editing on there, and I've been getting like the gnarliest, like really horrible like eye headaches. Oh, you know, I mean, they're not really headaches. It's my eyes hurting and causing a headache, but it feels like a headache in my eyeballs, and it makes me feel so irritated and uncomfortable. And then I'd be like, oh my God, why do I feel like shit? And then I'd have to like go like lay with my eyes closed somewhere for a while and things like that. And I realized, I think it's because I put my monitor on that stand, and I'm not sure what that has changed about. I mean, it's a little bit higher, so I'm looking not necessarily straightforward at it anymore. So something about that, I guess, has really been bothering my eyeballs. So I took it off the stand yesterday, but this was already after I had been working on it, working on editing, and like I already felt kind of bad. I'm gonna go back today and see if that has helped me, because otherwise I don't know why that would suddenly, like, I thought maybe it was just eye strain from when it first started happening, from maybe using my Switch, which is handheld for the most part, or like a combination of reading a lot and using my laptop for school shit. But I think actually it is that monitor for some reason. So I don't know. I'm gonna have to try it out today and see how I feel, because I really have to get that shit edited. It's taking me so long because I can only do it for like 30 minutes. These are some long fucking videos, guys. Holy shit. So yeah, that's what I've been up to. And I've also watched some movies, quite a few movies, just to go through them quick so this doesn't get too long. Rewatched Ichi the Killer. That's after we watched Ichi Origin, or Zero Ichi, or One Ichi, or I don't know. I keep seeing it called like 10 different things when I read stuff about this on the internet. But this is a prequel to Ichi the Killer, which was written and directed a couple years after Ichi the Killer. So it does star Ichi as Ichi, but this is before he's Ichi, of course, which is like the number 1. That's his nickname because he became the most deadly fighter in his school. So this is like a very poor, very low budget, very poor production quality. And at first when I put this on, I was like, oh no, this is a mistake. But then I mean, we watched it all the way through and I ended up really liking it. I think that there's a big payoff. Even though it really takes till the very fucking end of the film for Ichi to become Ichi, you know? Yeah, I really like this. There's a lot of cheesy fighting. I can't even get into some of the weird, gross stuff that happens. Some of it's not funny, but some of it's funny. So, I don't know. If you know about Ichi, though, Ichi the Killer, maybe you can guess, you know, what kind of goes on in that one. But this is a really infamous cult film from like 2001. It's directed by Takashi Miike, who is one of my very favorite Japanese directors. This is like a crime horror movie where this Yakuza boss disappears, and so his crew is trying to figure out what happened, but you know right away that he was actually killed by somebody called Ichi, and it's like a total bloodbath. And then like Ichi's handlers they come in and clean everything up before the Yakuza come back and realize what's happened. So most of this movie is this guy here though, Kakihara. He is the snappiest dresser in this film. He's a masochist, and he is really just a freak. He is such a freak. He's my favorite character in this movie. And this is really Kakihara trying to find the boss, because at some point the rest of everybody else, the rest of the group is kind of like, okay, he's just gone somewhere, but this guy really wants to find out what's going on, which puts him up against Ichi, who is this really strange guy. He's a really strange character, but I love this film. It is full of horrible, like the special effects now, awful. awful special effects. So there are only a couple scenes that are like really egregious though, but it's very bloody. It has a lot of violence in it, and I love this movie. This is one of my favorite movies. Okay, and then we've also watched a couple kind of more comedy-ish movies. We watched House last night, which is a 1977 Japanese film that is about these girls who go to one of their friends' estranged aunt's house. And the aunt at first is kind of not doing well. She uses a wheelchair, and then she seems to be getting better at the same time as some of these friends are disappearing in the house. This movie, the special effects hold up, and I think that's because they're not supposed to look realistic at all. They're supposed to look kind of cartoony and surrealist, and this movie is really such a delight to watch. Also, we watched Brain Damage, which maybe you remember from my last video. I was like, would Zach not like this? Because he's like, I don't really like horror comedies. And that's fine if he doesn't like them, but I think I think he just hasn't seen good horror comedies. So I did put on Brain Damage the other night, and it was a great time. This is about a guy named Brian, I think. He comes into contact with this like parasitic thing called Aylmer, who has to be fed brains, but in exchange gives Brian this like psychedelic drug that's like injected right into his brain and makes him feel really great. So what is he gonna do when he's cut off from this thing that Aylmer is giving him? This is really fun special effects. I think that Aylmer, the puppet that they used for Aylmer, was really good. It looks great and it holds up. It's good. I know we also watched Messiah of Evil last night, which was another 70s movie. I don't know, there's not, like, plot-wise, there's not a lot to say about it, but I think what I like the most is that era of horror movies that have this, like, almost ethereal look about them from the early 70s. Just this, like, gauzy feel, and this one I especially liked because of the set. A lot of it takes place in this woman's house. She's gone, or her father's house, this woman's father's house. She's gone to this weird, like, very small coastal town because her father's there. Her father's a painter, and she hasn't heard from him recently. So she goes there to see if he's doing okay, and he has painted this house and has this very strange, very 70s, like, set up with this art on the walls, like giant murals and really strange furniture, which includes like a swinging bed. I think that's what I found the most charming about it, is really the plot was fine too. It's like these small town secrets kind of a thing. But what I really liked is the set of it, for sure. We also watched Ritual, which is an adaptation of Adam Neville's book. And we watched the new I Know What You Did Last Summer, which wasn't great, but wasn't terrible. So we have been up to some things. As for reading, I've read a little bit of Ouija, maybe like 75 pages around there. So far I've read a little bit of its origins. I've read some stories, some first-hand accounts of people having good experiences with spirits that they've contacted through the Ouija, and now I'm on to bad things that have happened when people have contacted spirits on the Ouija. So I think this is like where I really am interested, because, you know, some of the foo-foo stuff, it was like, and this ghost was a poet and it wrote through me, and it's like, okay. Finally, today, I do have some sticky things I'm behind on, but I didn't want to open them not on camera. So we have days 2, 3, and 4. These are days 2 and 3 here. So, day 2, Tongue of a Croak, Spain. Oh, these are cool. They're like tarot stickers. The Sun, 3 of Swords, 5 of Coins, Wheel of Fortune, Page of Coins, Page of Wands, the Chariot, the Tower of the Moon. Not a full deck, obviously, but that's pretty cool. Day 3 is Mermaid's Wine Glass. Oh, cute. It's like 20s style costumes. And day 4 is Feather and Fen. Will there be birds? I do like birds. Oh, no birds. This one is plants and bugs. There's like Jack in the Pulpit, some, I don't know what, some, what are the ones that look like little bells? Some of those, some Venus fly traps, it looks like, piranha plants. Yeah, that's cute. Okay, cool. I really like the vintage costumes. Those are cool. I like that they printed them on like a tan sheet too. I'd really like to get a nice chunk of Ouija read today. I'm hoping to like have a kind of lazy but productive day. Like, I don't think I'm going to be moving around a shitload, but I also want to get my fucking shit done. I feel like I'm just I don't know. I've got all these, they feel like speed bumps almost, and I have to get over. I don't know. This month, I've not been reading as much as I want to, which is really a bummer. Usually, I don't know, one October, I read like a novella almost every single day. That was a couple years ago, and I didn't have as many responsibilities as I do right now, but my reading life. R.I.P. It's the spookiest October surprise of them all. Hello, everybody. It is Friday, the end of week 5 of Halloween-a-thon. I am finally caught up with my vlogs, and now I'm going to have to edit this one, so I'm not going to be caught up with my vlogs very soon. That is the truth of it. Okay, so I haven't read very much in the last couple days. So today I had some free time and I just powered right through this, The Most Dangerous Game by Stoker, which was my last roll. And let me tell you, I'm ready for like a short novella because I've read, I don't know, at least 3. I can't remember what I read before I rolled for Zero Saints, but I've read at least 3 long books, like longer than normal, longer than typical novella length books, and I'm ready to read something short and sweet, which Ouija, I don't know. This is a nonfiction book. I don't know when it's published. The copyright pages and the title pages have been ripped out. I got the secondhand, obviously. I get the feeling it was maybe written in the, I don't know, I want to say like maybe the 80s, just based on what they're saying in this. People that they're interviewing, for example, the fucking Warrens they interview, or the author interviews, it's not more than one person. So, I don't know, this was a nonfiction about the Ouija. And it was more than just the history. It was also about, you know, what different people think about it, what religious people think about it, what psychologists think about it, how you can safely use a Ouija board, stories of possession and obsession, and people who have contacted good spirits and people who have contacted bad spirits and things of that nature. Different experiments that psychical research groups have done, things of that nature. So it was informative, but it's kind of a novelty read almost, you know. I'm not going to be doing anything with the Ouija board. I just don't care about it. I don't think it's necessarily dangerous in itself, but maybe people can accidentally make it dangerous for themselves in ways. But like, I don't care about it. So it was a novelty read for sure. And now I can roll again and hopefully, I don't know, get maybe an activity or something. I do have a busy weekend coming up, so I don't know. It's Zach's grandma's 90th birthday this month, at the end of this month, so we're at the end of it. Okay, there have been flies in my house and I cannot figure out where they're coming from. It'll be like one fly, but I know they don't live that long, so why is there just constantly one fly in my house? And I try to fucking swat it with the swatter, and it is just too smart and fast for me. I've tried to sick the dog on it. She loves catching flies, but she's also kind of dumb. So her catch rate is not very good. Anyway, let me get my board and stuff, and then we'll roll again. So as you see right here, this is where we were. Now I'm going to roll again. If this fly runs up on me again. All right, I rolled a 2 over here. Let's see where that takes us. 1, 2. Another random novella. I'm just starting to think that, like, I mean, I've gotten more activities, I feel like, than I did last year. I've rolled more. But I've rolled 0 free oh, my first roll was a free space, I'm lying. I've only rolled 1 free space and, I don't know, 2 or 3 activities? I think 3, right? Meanwhile, I've rolled a dozen, not that many, but I've rolled quite a few novellas and some movies too. So what's up with that? I took all the not duplicates. I took all the, what is this quacking about? Oh, reminded me to turn in my history paper. I'm upset about something that happened with my history paper, but now it's not the time. What I was saying was I took all the books that I've already read out of here, so they shouldn't have any surprises. Coup de Grace, finally, something I've wanted to read and is on the shorter side for real, not just like barely 200 pages. Here's this. Coup de Grace. Let's read the synopsis. Vickin has a plan. Throw himself into the St. Lawrence River in Montreal and end it all for good, believing it to be the only way out for him after a lifetime of depression and pain. But stepping off the subway, he finds himself in an endless looping station. Determined to find a way out again, he starts to explore the rooms and corridors ahead of him. But no matter how many, I must have said catastrophic, no matter how many claustrophobic hallways or vast cathedral-esque rooms he passes through, the exit is nowhere in sight. The more he explores the strange new prison, the more he becomes convinced that he hasn't been trapped in there accidentally, and among the shadows and concrete, he comes to realize that he almost certainly is not alone. So this is by Sofia Ajram. I've been very interested in this book since I received it, I believe, in a Nightworms package. It came out last year, and I'm having speech problems today. I have been saving this for an October novella binge, and finally it is here and it has been chosen by the novella gods. And now it shall be read, hopefully this weekend. Hopefully in less time than this weekend. Because listen, we're getting, like, next week, I have 1 more week of October left, and I haven't done many of the things I really want to do. And it's not even just because I haven't rolled them, I just simply have not had fucking time. So I'm really... And this weekend I have things, I have grown up responsibilities and I don't want to, but I know I have to, and actually it's good that I do. But I just want to like be a little goblin and do my little goblin things. Just be a weird little hunched over goblin and read my little books, and I don't know what else. Mostly I just want to read my books and watch my little movies, which I have been doing, but where's the time gone? Okay, that is my update for today and the close to my week 5 Halloween-a-thon stuff. This vlog should be less insanely long than my other ones have been because I have not been filming things. So, I don't know, maybe you look forward to that, being able to watch a whole one for once in your life. That's on me, not on you. Okay, yeah, but anyway, I'm doing it again. This thing where I'm like, I do a Midwest goodbye, where I'm like, see you later, and then I'm like, actually, let me tell you this really long story about something quick before I go. But this is it. Goodbye. See you next week.